Welcome to Part B. We've got Sarah back, Samuels Donegan. If you didn't listen to Part A, go back, have a listen, because we're going to get stuck into everything business-related with Sarah today. Part B coming up. So we're going to, we've learnt all about you a bit personally. We want to sort of jump in now and go, let's talk a little bit about building the business and perhaps look at the behind-the-scenes reality of actually what it takes. So I'm interested to hear about the early days of Samuels Donegan, and we often talk about the
real version.
The real version, yeah. So not the polished version of what it might look like today, but the raw version, and even thinking about that starting and those first 12 months, what did they look like?
God. Yeah, absolutely. I can talk you through that. So it was crazy. It was literally crazy. I don't think we ate. I just remember we were both very thin because we literally didn't have time to eat. It was crazy. And so this is 2019 when we're pre-COVID. You still went to the office 5 days a week, so you were seeing a lot of people, and we would just be running from meeting to meeting to meeting because there was literally only two of us. And the funniest thing, I just remember, because you've got no clue, right? You're just like in your head, yeah, cool, I'm going to do this. So I remember we set up, and we were very fortunate. So we got work pretty much like 2 weeks after we pretty much launched the business. We launched the business January 14th, 2019. Fun little side story. We rocked up to the office wearing the exact same outfit, and literally it was a white shirt, black pants, and so that was just hilarious. But Evelina we said, oh, we'll meet at 8 o'clock, and Evelina, she's messaging me going, I'm going to be 10 minutes late. I'll be there soon, and I'm like, why are you telling me? I don't care. Like, we don't have a boss. Like, it was that freedom of suddenly, oh, we don't have a boss. But the other side was that, we had a client reached out. They wanted to know where we were. They were like, oh, I want to work with you guys. Can you send me your terms? And we just looked at each other and we're like, we didn't even have an email address. Like, we had nothing. Like, they were like, can you send us? So we suddenly realised, my God, we have to get everything put together. And when there's just the two of you, and suddenly you realise you've got to create invoice forms, you've got to do this, you've got to register the company. I really felt like I was doing an MBA in 6 months.
Did you underestimate that, what it took?
Massively, massively. There's a reason you're naive going into these things. It's probably like childbirth. You would never do it. If someone told me what it would cost, and I'm not talking from a financial perspective, but like from the sacrifices that you make, and you do make sacrifices, you think about it. Like
it's hard because you're looking back from a very different position,
completely,
and a different perspective.
We've been successful. Do you know what I mean? Like, and we were just. I was thinking it this morning. I was like, far out. You've got to have a risk appetite, and you've got to be okay that things are going to go wrong, and people are going to let you down, and all those sorts of things. And so, if you want to just have that paycheck and not worry about the stress, just work for somebody else because it's tough. It was an incredible 12 months. Like, it was the most fun we've ever had, but we did not sleep a lot.
Do you look back and go, we really nailed something right from the start and got it right, even to this day?
Yeah, it's a really good point. And probably, alluding to my earlier point, we figured out what we were good at, and we just stayed in our lanes. Yeah. We just stayed in those lanes and figured out what each of us was really good at, and we just split, divide and conquer. And just,
When was there a point at which when you, and I know, again, when I read these questions, I go, was there a moment where you've gone, shit, we've actually got something special here? And what was that moment?
Yeah, absolutely. It's it sort of happened almost a little bit organically. It kind of gathered momentum, and then we kind of were at this point, and I remember through COVID, we really wanted to hire some people because it was literally just the two of us doing everything from a 250K role to an 80K junior role, and it was just, the demand was just incessant. But we were in that situation where you couldn't go anywhere because of COVID, so we worked 24/7, like, it was ridiculous. But it also made us go, holy moly, there's something here. People actually are coming, they want to work with us. We've got something here. So as soon as we could and got out of COVID, we literally hired. So it was probably the 2-3 year mark in, we were like, okay, there's something real here.
And what about the behind the scenes reality of what people never see of what it takes to run a business? What don't people see?
I think the decision making, and I know that sounds like so what, but like there are so many decisions you have to be involved in, like just at so many levels in terms of, and you're constantly thinking about things, you worry a lot more about things, you're like, okay, worried about the economy, worried about this, worried about that. There's just, I think, and it's not always roses. You've got to make tough decisions. You've got to decide where the money goes, where the investment goes, and that might impact people. And obviously that's difficult. So there's a lot of decisions that weigh heavily, I would say.
Yeah.
What did you learn the hard way?
Oh.
Just one.
Yeah, I know. I could go on for hours about this. Look, I think I have a little saying that, I like to remind myself about, is that people will surprise, delight, frustrate, and disappoint you. And that little saying I made up after something had happened, and it's really made me kind of go, things are going to go wrong. People are going to let you down. It's just going to happen. That's people. We're not robots. That's just the way things go. I know. It's coming. It's coming. So I think that probably helps me deal with some of those things. But I think I think also, putting too much reliance on external. And what I mean by that is, the business the best yourself, and trust your gut when it comes to, engaging external people. And you guys have been brilliant at this. It's taken us 7 years to find the right advisor. We had a lot of false starts. And I think there's that belief that, someone else will come in and a consultant will tell you how to do this and all that kind of stuff. And that's great. There's lots of people advertising that sort of support, but, that's probably the thing that I wish we'd trusted our gut a little more.
So was there ever a moment, Sarah, where you genuinely wondered whether or not you'd made a mistake going out on your own?
Actually, no. I mean, happily I can say that. Honestly, it's still the best job I've ever had. It's been the most fun, and I've been very blessed to do that, with an incredibly close friend. So, no, not yet anyway, Sharron.
Not yet.
Let's talk leadership. How would you describe your style? And I know that's an annoying question, because style is somewhat a complicated thing. But who are you as a leader?
I'm pretty grounded. I have been leading actually the majority of the team for the last 6 months or so, and it's been great because I've been able to kind of get to know everyone in a bit more detail. But I'm pretty empathetic. I always tend to put myself in their shoes, and I have done their role, so I do understand that. I think I'm probably pretty fair. I think I'm good at kind of reading the room. So I've always been pretty intuitive and meeting people where they're at, because I think there's a really fine line around leadership. The numbers are super important, but then there's also the other stuff that's going on. So I'm very much that type of person that will come from the big picture angle rather than just going straight for the numbers, and understanding and getting the best out of people as well, motivating them, getting them to perform. And really, I think the biggest thing is it's part of leadership as well, but creating an environment where people feel seen and heard and acknowledged. And just going off on a bit of a tangent here, but one of the reasons we created the business was we wanted to create that ideal environment that we both wish we had worked in. It was to create the dream employer. And the fact that the team would go, this is the best place I've ever worked, or this is amazing what you've created. It's like, we're onto something.
Yeah. What would be the hardest leadership conversation you've had to have?
Look, plenty. It's when you're communicating change. I think, nobody likes change, right? We're humans, right? We just don't like it. So even if it's not a huge change, a change in process or procedure, or a change to, remuneration, whatever it might be, I think that is, that's probably the most difficult thing, because it might mean I might not think it's a big impact, but it might feel very differently to the
somebody
person
else
that's receiving it. The news.
Have you ever had to make a call about a person, whether that's a team member, a partner, could be awkward if you say that, that was the right business decision, but a genuinely hard human decision?
I think I'll probably put a slightly different spin on that, in that it's more where I've had a situation where there's a client that we've decided not to work with. And as a sales business and a recruitment business, most people would say you're mad, but reputation, ethics, that's really important to us. And also that relationship with a client, we look for that respect. It's a two-way street. Right. If we're going to represent your organisation and carry your employer brand to market, then we rightly expect that you're going to treat us like a partner, not just a supplier. So if there's an organisation that just, it's the gut feel, something doesn't sit right. I mean, I've got a lot of knowledge. I know a lot of people. I know the reputation of most organisations. If something's not congruent there, then I'm like, because at the end of the day, I'm putting someone into that role. Yeah. And if you're demonstrating that actually you're not taking this seriously, or, HR is just going to be a mouthpiece to do whatever you want them to do, I can't hand on heart, because I'm a very honest and open person. I can't tell that person, hey, this is going to be an amazing role, and then set them up for failure. Yeah. So it's more where I've had to probably make those calls, and we've made quite a few calls around that, where it's just like, we're just not aligned. We're perhaps not the firm for you.
It's a tough call to make. Yeah,
but I mean, it comes back to the integrity of the brand that you've created.
And you're saying no to money on the table, which as a business owner, kind of seems crazy, but you're right. It goes back to the integrity.
Yeah.
I suppose, this is, valuing good advice. And I suppose advice is a really interesting word because of what we do. And so it's always important to kind of understand from the reciprocant sort of part. I suppose what we want to hear from a founder's perspective. What role do you think advisors, mentors, support systems, whatever you want to call that genre of things, what role do they play? Because they play different roles at different stages, right? And so for me, and I don't want to preempt, but I go, we'd love to understand the role, sort of what it plays now for you, given that you've got a successful business and it's doing well. What's that role?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. I think for us now, it's really maturing and growing the business. We're at a stage where everything's kind of humming. It's a little bit like, what's next? Yeah. So for us, it's people that can help us identify what that looks like. Also really probably, come in and sure, we think things are running well, but actually kind of give us a bit of a reality check as well in terms of, okay, you're doing that well or you need to improve. I think the biggest thing for us, and I suppose not the frustration, but the thing I miss is that I'm not learning from anyone anymore. Yeah. I don't have a boss to learn from. So my learning has hit a limit. So that's where we're at that point, okay, we actually need to get some big guns in, like you guys, to actually compare and provide that, insight that we just haven't got access to anymore.
Yeah. No, and it's funny because it's we have, and this is definitely not about us, but we have clients at different stages, right? So we have to provide different versions of what you're talking about at different stages, and it's complicated because you look at us and we have this depth of experience, and you go, we're lucky that we've got all those experiences across all those different stages to be able to provide that. But I go, my next question is probably is an interesting one to go. What does success mean for you now?
Yeah, that's such an interesting, and I did actually have a little a little look at these questions. So some of them I had a chance to actually ponder. So that was a really interesting one because, look, money. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm driven by money, and I think that's a childhood thing for me. Yeah. I was never an academic kid. I was just school. I hated with a passion. So it was always like, what are you going to end up doing kind of thing. And for me, money was a marker, particularly early in my career. It was money. That was my way of success. We live in a capitalist economy. Okay. But for me, that was a big driver of that was success. Now at 48, looks very different. I'd like a bit more time off. Success would be like taking some time out of the business and spending some time with my elderly parents, giving back, just doing different things. I've worked really hard. I think now success is also a bit of legacy as well. Yep. Having a business that actually matters and leaving something as well to make the either the recruitment profession better or the candidate experience better. I mean, we're about to go through a huge revolution in the workplace. So, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of changes and disruptions. So, you know, also thinking how that's going to play out as well. And that's probably, you know, some future kind of, you know, business model ideas right there. But that's more important to me.
Amazing.
We're wrapping it up. Last
This
session.
is
We could have actually gone on and done a third episode with you,
so.
Sarah, which I feel a bit saddened that we're not being able to
We'll loop back around.
Loop back around maybe, because I feel like there's a lot more we could have chatted with you about today. But we're going to wrap it up with our rapid fire round. We didn't give you we didn't tell you about this one.
No,
although,
you did not tell me about this.
Emily going to get a first-hand go at what's going to happen to her. So maybe she should leave the room before we go through these.
And to be honest, we nearly changed this up because we've got a new thing that we're going to do, which is
didn't do that.
which is we're going to do ChatGPT rapid fire. So we don't even know what the questions are.
Right.
But we thought, you know what, we'll just keep it we'll keep it structured for this one. But it's coming, so we might have to do a retake of whatever this is for to see what old ChatGPT likes to answer. All right. Sharron,
so first thing that comes to mind, no overthinking, no second guessing. Best piece of business advice you've ever been given?
Hire slow, fire fast.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I mean, I reckon I'm going to answer this one
Don't
myself.
answer it, just answer the question.
Most overrated buzzword right now.
Can I say thought leadership?
I was going to say synergies. And I use it all the time as well.
Your go-to coffee order?
Oat cappuccino.
Oat cappuccino? Sugar or no sugar?
No sugar.
Oof. What's one question every founder should ask their advisors but never do? That's a great question.
Sorry, this is not rapid fire.
That's a good question.
And
what sacrifices are you prepared to make?
Oh, I like
that's
that.
Tough. That's
we're
an
gonna.
episode
Oh, we're stealing that. We're stealing that. One weird or surprising skill no one knows you have.
What? Come on.
This is really hard. Weird or surprising skill.
What do you do when you're really shit-faced?
I know the, what do you call it? The alphabet. What's it called? The, Alpha, Echo, Bravo, Delta.
The military
alphabet.
no, what's it?
How do you know that?
What's it called?
I don't know why, but I do know it.
There you go.
That's a great skill.
Great skill.
If we ever get lost anywhere, she's our SOS.
Alpha, Delta, Charlie.
Correct.
I
can help you with that.
And finally, if your business was a band, what instrument would you play?
Have to be bass guitar.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Bass guitar.
Yeah, I like that. Well,
that's it. What a ride.
What a ride.
Thank you.
No, thank you for being so open. And we really appreciate you coming on our beautiful podcast and you being an amazing client. So thank you.
It was an absolute pleasure. You guys rock and you're always so much fun. So give great advice. Can't rate you guys highly enough. So thank you.
Thanks,
Sarah.
High five. And we're going to give Sarah a high five too.